Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we're back on the Blue Ridge Parkway and we'll be covering miles 410 through 430. We immediately come to the Frying Pan Tunnel at mile 410.1. This tunnel has a length of 275 feet or 84 meters. On the left at mile 411 is the Cradle of Forestry Overlook. In the late 1800s, George Vanderbilt bought a very large portion of the Pisgah Wilderness. Vanderbilt was an early conservationist who wanted to preserve the natural beauty of the area and create a vast game preserve. Dr. Karl Alwin Schenk, a German forestry professor, was hired by Vanderbilt to manage his property and start a forestry school. The first School of American Forestry was operated from 1898 to 1913. Schenk trained 300 foresters. The U.S. Forest Service has recognized the importance of the early pioneering conservation effort and has made a considerable investment in replicating the school and providing exhibits to show early forestry practices. On the right is a view of Cold Mountain at mile 411.9. At an elevation of 6,030 feet, the temperature on Cold Mountain has a record low of more than 20 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, or negative 29 degrees Celsius. At mile 412.2 is the Wagon Road Gap parking area. Starting as a footpath, the Wagon Road was eventually used for wagons traveling between Brevard and Waynesville. At mile 413.2 is the Pounding Mill Overlook. More than a century ago, mountain people would build a hammer-type mill to grind corn. The mills were water-powered and built along streams such as Pounding Mill Branch. At mile 415.7 on the left is a view of Cherry Cove. Because of favorable conditions, the black cherry trees grow up to 100 feet in the cove, compared to about 50 feet in the lowlands. In the early fall, thousands of birds are attracted by the ripened cherries on the trees. At mile 416.3 on the left is the Log Hollow Overlook. In the 1880s, loggers cut down thousands of trees on the surrounding slopes. Using tools called cant hooks, the lumberjacks would slide the logs down the slopes to the hollow below. After the logs were slid into the creek bed, men would open dams from nearby streams to create a flood of water to carry the logs to the lumber mill. At mile 417 is a view of Looking Glass Rock. One of the largest masses of granite in the eastern United States, Looking Glass Rock gets its name from the shimmering effects of sunlight on its surface when wet. This is also an excellent location for rock climbing. At mile 418.3 is the East Fork Overlook. Located here are the headwaters of the Pigeon River. Yellowstone Falls is a short distance away and gets its name from the yellowish moss covering the rocks. You can find U.S. Forest Service trail access to Shining Rock Wilderness Trail system here. To the right is Graveyard Fields. Graveyard Fields is jointly managed by the U.S. Forest Service and the National Park Service. This area is listed as one of the most popular hiking areas in the Blue Ridge National Heritage Area. Summer visitors are attracted to the area because of seasonally cool days and to experience several waterfalls. Fall visitors experience vivid colors and the opportunity to collect blueberries. Many years ago, a tremendous windstorm uprooted the spruce forest, leaving behind stumps that gave the area the appearance of a graveyard. At mile 419.4 on the left is a view of John Rock. John Rock got its name from a horse that fell to its death there. A trail leads to a close-up view of the Bear Rock. At mile 421.9 is the Fetterbush Overlook. The Fetterbush is a member of the heath family of shrubs along with rhododendron and laurel. Because the branches are so densely tangled, even small animals are fettered from getting through. We pass through the Devil's Courthouse Tunnel, which has a length of 350 feet or 107 meters. On the left at mile 422.4 is a view of Devil's Courthouse. The rough and rocky summit has a devilish appearance. There are many folklore tales from the Cherokee to early mountain settlers that say the devil holds court in a cave within the mountain. On the right at mile 422.8 is a view of Mount Hardy. Mount Hardy is named for Dr. James F. E. Hardy. Hardy was an Asheville physician during the Civil War. On the left is the Courthouse Valley Overlook. It is easy to enjoy the spectacular long-range views from this overlook. The Courthouse Valley below joins the flatlands of the French Broad River in the distance. On the left at mile 424.4 is a view of Herrin Knob. Though misspelled, Herrin Knob was named after James Herrin, Herren, who owned land and operated a sawmill here. At mile 424.8 to the left is the Wolf Mountain Overlook. The valley below Wolf Mountain contains Wolf Lake. This area was home to large numbers of timber wolves before 1900. By then, bounty hunters, farmers, and cattlemen hunted the wolves to extinction. At mile 425.4 is a view of Rough Butt Bald. Sounds painful. The distinct mountain ranges seen from the overlook make an extraordinary sight. Butt is a term describing how a mountain breaks off or butts off sharply. On the left is the Bear Pen Gap parking area. Long ago, bear hunters would stack up logs and rig a trip line attached to bait. When the bear pulled at the bait, the logs would fall on the bear, killing it. These bear pens were built in gaps where the bears would travel. At mile 428 is the Caney Fork Overlook, which provides inspiring views of the valley below and the tumbling mountain ranges in the background. On the right at mile 428.5 is the Beartrap Gap Overlook. Many early hunters used steel traps to catch bears. They were very large traps, about 2 to 3 feet long, and required standing on the lever-type springs on both sides of the toothed jaws in order to set the trap. The traps were set on bear trails and were camouflaged. An unlucky bear would spring the trap by stepping on it. We will conclude today's video at mile 430. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help support our channel, please check out our merchandise at 504roadtrips.spreadshirt.com. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share, and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.